Okay, so what we're going to do is a recap today on getting the tile level. The shower pan is sloped, and so we have to get the tile square and level to the shower pan on the side of the shower seat, because we're going to have to make a notch in it and line it up with the tile on the back of the shower seat. And the process for that could seem very difficult. Now remember, you don't want to cut your factory edges if you don't have to. That will make a huge difference in being flush, even, a nice tight joint, by just getting everything level and lined up. So there's a process. So we're going to do a recap on leveling out this tile, and what that is, whether you're in a corner or wherever it may be, whether it's in a shower or on a wall. It doesn't matter where it is. The process is the same. Okay. So here we are. I'm on the side of my shower seat here. Okay. Well, as you see here, we have this huge gap, and it's at an angle. I could take the angle off of this edge, but do not do that. If you absolutely don't have to, you avoid that. Now, we don't have to, because we got a technique. And this technique applies to whether you're doing stairs, on a staircase. This technique crosses over. It's the same process because it's an angle and you need to make it level, square, straight, and even, correct? All right, so I got to bring this up and get that level in the center. Now that's perfect, looks like, right there. But you see the bottom, you see this space I have here. So it looks like I have about, an inch space. And so to demonstrate what I'm going to have to do is I come over here to this corner that I'm pivoting on, and I take that difference off there, the space, whether it's a 3/4 of an inch, we're just going to call it 3/4 of an inch, and we'll show you the process. All right, so since the left side is in the air, all right, that means I'm going to have to come up over here to my 3/4 mark. Oh, that was good. This is where you need to have an editing program to edit out the mistakes. So we're going to pause at it for a moment. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is we're going to take 3/4 of an inch over here off of the opposite side. Okay, so we find our 3/4 of an inch mark right there. All right, then the next thing we do is we take a level. Okay, and again, I'm really sorry. I apologize for this, having to videotape this myself. All right, so there's my 3/4 of an inch mark there. All right, I bring this here and I move this down. Sorry, again, this is not professional. It may be frustrating to watch. To this edge here. All right. So we go from 3/4 of an inch on the pivoting corner, and then I scribe a line. Okay. From this point all the way across to the outer edge right there, to nothing. That's why I call it nothing, because you're not cutting off anything from this edge. You're just barely brazing across the face of it. That's all you're doing, and you get to this point. And that's how you get this level to the floor. So I will pause this and show you the end results. And it will butt up nice and flush against the tile on the back. Because next I'm going to have to cut the notch for it to fit to go up against that. All right. So, well, you'll see the next phase of this. Okay, you can see that this bubble slightly off center, so it's not level. It's within tolerance in some cases, but we want this level now. The problem is there's a high spot down here on the floor, okay? And that high spot is right at this point. You can see where this teeter-totters. I'll point it out. That is right in this area right here. So I'm going to scribe in that area, because you see here when I bring it down to where it needs to be, we're level. Okay, well, right there. Okay, and now, well, it's hard to tell, but we're floating back here in the back, and we're touching right there where the white is coming out at the bottom there. It's hard to, sorry, I don't have a cameraman. So I'm going to have to scribe that there, and it should fit like a glove. Okay, so this is what you'll be seeing next is the finished product, and it should be level. Okay, after doing some double checking, I'm at a slight angle on the piece of tile on the back of the seat, so I have to match that angle. So, as you see here, I will show you now, the bubble is slightly on the back side of that line, okay, and then on the tile going on the side, it's also touching the line in the back. That tells me that when I cut the notch, that's going to be cut at this point right here. Going to go over and down so it can fit up snug against this edge. When this goes in here, it will match. And it'll have a nice tight fit, which should resemble this when I'm done. I don't like that factory edge showing, but I don't have anything to go on it. I could overlap it this way, and that would look nice, but you would still have this factory edge back here, which is going to be seen either way. And since I've already put this piece in, unfortunately, I'm going to have to just go with how I have it, and have to run with that, unfortunately. It's not terribly terrible, you know. The overall picture looks nice, the scheme of things. So that's what I'm going to have to do now, is cut my notch down here in this corner and get it fit. So, all right, that's what we'll be doing next. Okay, so I've got my level leveled up, and I'm down here at the very bottom. You can see the gap here at the top of it, okay? Got this shadow going on. All right, you can see the gap there, but it's touching on the bottom. So my measurement from the bottom here is like 1.25 inches where it's touching the outer edge of this torpedo level, okay? Now at the top, I do the same thing. I bring it up here to the very top of the curve. Okay. And then I measure over to the tile. I bring this to level here while touching the top of the curve. Bring this to level. Then I measure over and see what the gap, this distance is. Now, the top here came out to 1 inch and the bottom to 1.25 inches. So I've just kind of had to freehand, and kind of work the same angle that I'm looking at right here. And so it should take on the contour, and I'll have to cut this to fit, and then I should be right where I need to be. And that's basically the process. Okay, I'm going to show you how you find your points without using a tape measure. You get your head at the same level as the piece you are going to connect, and then you sight them in. You look straight across to where this horizontal piece meets and runs into this vertical piece here where they cross, like looking in the crosshairs of a sight if you were hunting. Okay, so you sight it in with your eye. You don't need a tape. And right here at the tip of my felt and my marker is right where you want to mark it. Okay, you can see that that's where they connect. It's called a tangent point if we were doing stairs. But this is where they connect, and that's the height of this side tile that's going on this shower seat. So you can measure down and mark it. You can lay this here, but let's say it's a cross, and it needs to be at the same level. I can sight this in and shoot all the way across and have somebody drop their pencil down until they get to this margin line here. And then you just mark your wall. If I was needing to do that on the other side, no level needed. Just a little side tip for what that's worth. Okay. I hope that made sense to you. All right. So you can see I've already pre-marked, but I know if I sight it in, I'm right here and I'm right there. Right where I need to be at this point. All right. So this little tip for you, a little trick. But at a distance, you can do the same thing, and you get right down to it. If this was a pencil, I could just drag this down the wall on the other side, or have somebody else drag it down the other side of the wall. And then as soon as these 2 points cross, the pencil and this edge, then you scribe your line, mark your wall, and it could be 5 feet away, or however. Just a little trick. Okay. And now you can see that I have, I'll show you what this looks like. Here, it fits like a glove, just like I told you it would. And now I'm having to cut the top of this here. So I'm going to come from this line to the top. I'm going to cut that line. And then here, where I've got it marked,